Shalom, 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 Israel. First off, giving all honor and praises to the Most High and to his son Yahushua, with the battle axes of the Most High, coming to you with another Sabbath class breakdown. The name of today's class is the 10 toes, 10 horns, and 10 common markets. 10 toes, 10 horns, and 10 common markets. Shabbat shalom to brothers and sisters in class. Shabbat shalom to brothers and sisters watching online. So like a lot of times, like we was discussing with the brothers and sisters of the congregation, we know that these things, that prophecies are moving rapidly in these last days. No brothers and sisters could feel it in their spirit, can feel it in their bones, that something big is about to be on the brink. I know brothers and sisters can feel it, and I know a lot of times brothers and sisters try to seek out the knowledge of the Bible. What we fail is when we go into Christianity to seek those things out, because they're not giving us the answers that we need for the problems that we see in the world. But guess what? Israel is going through these things. We're showing precept upon precept, line upon line, why things are the way they are in the world. Things are the way that they are because Israel is not keeping God's commandments like how we were commanded. And it's just that simple. A lot of times brothers and sisters want to have some deep philosophy behind it, but it's simple because we're not keeping and holding up our part of the agreement. That's why the things that happen to us happen. So we want to make sure that we periodically go through these things. First precept we want to go to is Isaiah 46 and verse number 10. Because oftentimes we get that from brothers and sisters that really don't understand the Bible. Well, how do you know man wrote that book? And we always ask, well, brother or sister, people write a recipe book and you follow that, don't you? I mean, come on, man. What book hadn't a man written? But we know that these things were inspired by the Most High because, like we were saying, no man can predict the future or give prophecies. Only one person or one God is able to do that, and that's the Most High, Yahweh. That is the only person. Read that out.
It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 46, and verse 10. Declaring the end from the beginning.
So the Most High God declared the end from the beginning, meaning even earlier in the Bible, he's already telling us how things are going to play out at the end of the world. He's already telling us that. One precept we could go to is what? 2nd Ezra chapter 6, verse 9. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followed. And we're going to get that precept. Read that again from the top.
It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 46, and verse 10. Declaring the end from the beginning.
So the Most High God declared the end from the beginning. Read on.
And from ancient times.
And from ancient times, meaning the past. Read on.
The things that are not yet done.
The things that are not yet done. Read on up.
Saying, my counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasure.
And the Most High God is going to do everything that this Bible is saying. Everything. One of the things that he declared from the end, let's go to 2nd Ezra chapter 6, verse 9. We're coming right back. 2nd Ezra chapter 6, verse 9. Start at verse 7.
This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 6, and verse 7. Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times?
So Ezra wanted the Most High to answer him, when will be the end? When is the parting of the asunder of times? Read on up.
Or when shall be the end of the first?
When is the end of this first rulership? Read on up.
And the beginning of it that followeth.
And when is our time to rule the planet Earth coming up? This is what Ezra asked the Most High. Remember, Ezra was an Israelite. Read on up.
And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac.
So he know Father Abraham, the father of many nations. Abraham had Isaac. This is who the Most High God made his covenant with. God did not make a covenant with all nations. He only made the covenant with who? With Abraham. Abraham had Isaac, and Isaac had Jacob. Jacob had the 12 tribes of Israel. That's who the covenant is with. It's many, many Bible verses that say that. Read on up.
when Jacob and Esau were born of him.
It says when Jacob and Esau were born of him. Remember, Jacob and Esau were what? Were twins. But they were what kind of twins? They are fraternal twins. One Caucasian, one Negro. And a lot of times, well, how can that happen? It was like, can't the Most High God do anything? They believe the Most High God can do anything but that. So he can't make a white and a black twin come out the same womb. When we literally see it all the time. We pull these things up literally for brothers and sisters to see. This stuff is still happening today. Pull up another one for me. You still got that one saved? We'll say that one. Yeah, pull it up right quick. We actually have people. This actually still happens. This is not nothing new in the earth. Yeah, black parents. Because remember, black people can make many different spectrums of color. That's how you can see a parents, they're dark-skinned parents, and they baby be what color? Light-skinned sometimes, or light brown. We see that many different times. So we have it right here. They pretty famous. Yeah, they twins. They related. I'm pulling it up. What the? That's the point. That's exactly the point. So we see they are literally twins. Birth sisters. One fraternal. I mean, they fraternal. One brown and one Caucasian or red. We literally see these things happen. So it's not a mystery with Jacob and Esau. Let's go back up.
This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 6 and verse 8. And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau.
So Esau was the elder twin. He came out first, but Jacob's hand was holding his heel as he came out. This symbolized something. Read on out.
Verse 9. For Esau is the end of the world.
Esau is the end of the world. And we can clearly see. That's why we try to make the Bible common sense to brothers and sisters. What nation of people is ruling the planet Earth today? Yeah, the Negro, all people. Yeah, okay, brother. You have to get simple with brothers sometimes. Pull out a dollar bill. Whose face is on there? Come on, man. We have to make it plain to our people. Read verse 9 again.
Verse 9. For Esau is the end of the world.
For Esau is the end of the world. And we can feel that we're in the end times. You seen it pop up all over TikTok, all over Facebook, all over YouTube. We know we're in the end times. And what nation is ruling? So-called Caucasians. Letting you know that they are Edomites according to the Bible. That's plain. It's not no East Saudi Arabians or none of that crap. Read on up.
And Jacob is the beginning of it that follows.
And Jacob is next in line to rule the planet Earth, meaning Israelites. Going into what? The kingdom of heaven. This is plain upon tables. And this is something that was written during what? During the time of Genesis. Declaring the end from the beginning. You got some up? Let's go back. Read Isaiah 46 and 10 again.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 46 and verse 10. Declaring the end from the beginning and from ancient times, the things that are not yet done.
The things that are what up?
That are not yet done.
The things that are not yet done. Read on.
Saying, my counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasure.
Let's get another precept. What precepts do brothers have? Let's get Isaiah 42 and 9. Bruce should have that, man. Bruce writing it down. Bruce should be on point with that. This is another Bible verse saying the same thing. Read this out.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 42, verse 9. Behold, the former things are come to pass, and new things do I declare.
So the Most High God is declaring new things. Read on up.
Before they spring forth.
Before these things happen, read on up.
I tell you of them.
Why is the Most High God doing that? Because he's literally doing what? Getting us prepared for what's about to happen. So when that day comes, you can't say to the Most High, God, I didn't know. Lord, I promise I didn't know. He's going to look at you like you a damn liar and literally play it back in your mind. Because you know our people, man, we love to lie. We lie like a Persian rug, man. I'm talking about just be lying for no damn reason. The Most High God is giving us basically an open book test to the things that are going on in the world. Just like how we see with Donald Trump, we see the things that he's doing, these things according to Bible prophecy, because he's stirring up the nations to do what? To bring about World War III. A lot of times our people are dumbfounded to geopolitical things that are going on in the earth. We don't care about nothing outside of Oak Cliff. And the world is way much bigger than that. It's way bigger than that, man. Because guess what? Our people are scattered everywhere. Just because we doing kind of okay in Oak Cliff, what about our people in Yemen or Saudi Arabia or in parts of Africa or in parts of Thailand? We got Israelites that are everywhere. We need to worry about those brothers and sisters, man. So we have to pray that the Most High God get us out of this captivity. Go ahead, I got something. It's true. Read that again from the top up.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 42 and verse 9. Behold, the former things are come to pass. And new things do I declare. Before they spring forth, I tell you of them.
The Most High God is always giving us a heads up. So brews are what? Are properly prepared. That's what the Bible is all about, preparing us for trials and tribulations before they spring forth, before Jacob's troubles spring forth, before World War II and thermonuclear weapons spring forth. Do brothers and sisters understand that? Read verse 3.
No, I said 3. You said 2.
Oh, thanks. World War III. Come on. Let's go to the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 29 and verse number 29. That's why a lot of times brothers and sisters don't understand the Bible, because for one, they're not keeping the commandments to understand the Bible. And for two, they're not what? Reading the Bible the way that the Most High God commanded us to read. Like we always say, you can read the Bible like a book or a novel. You know, you're going to just get a historical history behind it, but you will never, if you, without those proper instructions, get the deeper meanings that are in the scriptures or the understanding of prophecies in the Bible. Do brothers and sisters understand that? Read this out.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 29 and verse 29. The secret things belong to the Lord our God, but those things which are revealed belong to us.
Belong to us
and to our children.
And to our children. Meaning it's secret things that the Most High God is telling us, and he's only telling the children of Israel that, for one, keep his commandments, and that read the Bible precept upon precept. Let me say this again. You will not. Let me say it again. You will not understand the Bible without keeping the commandments. And then you got brothers say, well, my pastor, your pastor, a damn liar. Because ask them, is he keeping the commandments of God? Most pastors teach what? That the laws is what? Done away with. So by them even just saying that proves to you that they don't know the Bible. Plain as day. And we can prove that. Go to the book of Psalms 111 and 10. We're going to prove that they don't understand what they're reading if they are not keeping the commandments. Because you have many pastors in today's time that say what? Don't read the Old Testament. Don't read that. What book are you only going to read part of the book to understand it? That makes absolutely no sense. That's why people are in total confusion when it comes to neither Jew nor Greek and Jew and Gentiles. Total confusion. Read this out.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 111 and verse 10.
The
fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom.
So when you fear the Lord, meaning you start to keep his commandments, read on out.
A good understanding have all they that do his commandments.
He's telling you plainly, a good understanding have all they that do his commandments. Meaning you must be keeping the commandments of the Most High. Going into your dress code, going into your moral code, your dietary code, things that you can and cannot eat, clothes that you can and cannot wear, men's facial hair, you have to have a beard, not bald in your head, wearing your fringes on all your clothes. These are part of the laws that the Most High God gave us to, guess what? To make us understand the Bible better. And many times we have to perform these things in order to really understand it. Think about it. A lot of times our people are visual people, but brother, show me how you did that. We could easily mimic that. We could just watch it one time and then we got it down pat. That's why the Most High God is so repetitive in telling us to do what? Keep the commandments of the Most High. Go ahead, Doc.
And just like they always say, well, where do I start? A lot of people are like, well, where do I start reading the Bible at? A lot of times you hear Christians say, hey, yeah, start at the Gospels. Start at Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, which the Gospel is way before that, right? We've been having this gospel, which is salvation for the Israelites. But they say start there, but then you miss all of this understanding of what you should be and how you should live, your moral, your dietary, you know what I'm saying? Your acts of kindness and righteousness toward one another. You miss all that, but then I want to go right here and start right here. We missing all of this. That's what they try to do to you. But now we have a better understanding because we did what? We started from scratch. We Matthew 18:3, right? We became little children. Now we come back into who we really are. Let me get one precept. Let's go to 2 Edges 9. Start from the top. Yeah, they start from the Gospels. Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. I seen one of them say, yeah, you want to read John first. Then you want to go back to Matthew. Then you want to skip over and go to Mark. And then you want to go to Luke. I'm like, damn, brother, what about Deuteronomy and Leviticus? Of the prophets. Like, we don't want to go there. That's crazy work. Read this, 9 and 1.
This is the book of 2 Ezra, chapter 9 and verse 1. Then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself.
Measure thou the time diligently in thyself, man. That means that we have a lot of work to do, man. Measuring the time means that we what? Go here a little bit, that we go there a little bit, like I was just saying before class, that we get into some history, right? That we get into some law, that we get into a little bit of everything to measure the times and to see exactly where we are and where we should be, right? Measure the times diligently in itself, read.
And when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told you or told thee before.
And see, not in Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, but he said where I told you before, right? It's something before that. You missing a whole lot of captivities, Egypt, Assyrian. He said what I told you before. This is how you make the Bible line up. The old should line up perfectly with the new, right? They should be, what is that, latitude, longitude, whichever one, you know. I ain't been in school in 20 years. It's cool, it's fine. One of them, whichever sideways, is the latitude or longitude. Somebody know. One of these youngsters, where y'all at? They don't teach y'all that in school? Latitude. Okay, it should be latitude, perpendicular. How about that? Yeah, I remember that one. They should be kind of close to each other. They should add up. So he says, read that last part again.
And when thou seest part of the signs,
when you see part of the signs pass, read.
Which I have told thee before.
Which he told us before, right? This is where we always got to go. We got to go make it line up. Read verse 2.
Then shalt thou understand.
Then you understand. It ain't just reading the New Testament to get understanding. It's seeing prophecies line up. This is how you understand. This is what Ak is coming into, right? You didn't know that there were 18 nations in the Bible. You didn't know that you came from a certain lineage or a tribe. We just thought that we were some niggas, right? Oh, yeah, I'm a nigga, black, proud, American, African-American, right? We didn't know that. But now that we see things lining up, now that we see prophecies unlocking and revealing themselves, now we go and do the diligence that is said by measuring the time. And now we go back into this, getting this thing right. Read on.
That it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world and world which he made.
The world which he made, right? And guess what? That spirit of the Most High God is visiting us today. That's when it's visiting us, right? Now he's giving us the eyes to see and the ears to hear, right? He took the veil off our eyes. A long time we were walking with veils on our eyes. A long time we were walking dead, but we living, but we spiritually dead. So when we measure the times like we have been doing, we now knocking off the old ways. We now coming trying to give the Lord his Sabbath days. We're trying to do all the righteous rehearsals that he's asked us for. That's measuring the time so that we may now understand what I is going to go into today. So hopefully we can get this understanding of what 10 toes, 10 common markers. Go ahead.
Man, jump down to verse 4.
Verse 4. Then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee.
It's saying the same thing. Where did we just read this from? See if Bruce is paying attention. Isaiah 46:10 and Isaiah what? 42:9. Saying the same exact thing. Remember, many of the prophets said the same thing. This is another precept that y'all can have for that to add on to it. Read on out.
Even from the beginning.
Even from the beginning. The Most High God had been warning us about these things, man. He'd been warning us about the impending destruction, about the second coming of Christ, and making sure that, guess what, his people are in order, following the commandments and having faith in Christ. Read on up.
For like as all that is made in the world had a beginning and an end.
Everything that's made in the world had a beginning and an end. Read on.
And the end is manifest.
The end is manifest, brothers and sisters, man. We seeing it right before our eyes. A lot of times, these are the times that the prophets loved and wanted to be in, man. They wanted to see the downfall, guess what, of the nations that have oppressed and destroyed God's chosen people. We living in that time. Who knows what's going on in the world right now? Any brothers? What's going on in the world? Since y'all already know I'm coming to y'all next. Because I need to know whether or not brothers and sisters are paying attention. Brother Ezekiel, what's going on in the world? So I said Trump with Venezuela still taking, doing whatever the hell they want. Help him out, Brother Bala. Most recently, he's sending a fleet to Iran. We starting to see this thing crank up even more. It's getting heated up. What else is going on in the world, Sister Genesis? He's trying to take over Greenland. That's right. That's another great point. He's trying to use that island for rare precious metals and also for a strategic ability. That's straight strategy for war, so they can better aim and target Russia. Easier missiles. What else is going on, Sister Adara? That's right.
To what? Hold on. To what's this? To what?
Lamb me back.
Lamb. We cooking with the lamb, so
We don't cook with pork. We know that's new for our brothers.
fine. You know that.
That's right. And they locked and ready. And guess what? That's even in the scriptures as well. That's why it's pivotal that we bring these things out. What else you got, sis? That's right. You really can. They are. I'm gonna tell y'all, we know that why. Because in history, they always, the Most High God, most of the times would always aim at Ephraim first and then get Judah last. So we see them going after who? Ephraim and northern tribe. So we know they finna start coming after Judah. Because a lot of times they know that the southern tribe is on top to do what? To wake up the people. They know we the ones out there on the street corners. Hey, they know we trying to, guess what? Get our people to wake up and repent and turn back to the laws. What else did you have, Brother Bala? Brother Bala. You miss your thought? You come back. But those are some of the things that are going on. Go ahead, huh? Who? Sister. What you have, sister? That's right. And that's another great plan because that really goes into the class. Ultimately, that's going to fracture the 10 toes against America. We know we have many different things that's in the networks. It's not just really one thing because some of the things that happened before that, who knows what happened before that? America is out of the Brexit. You're seeing Brexit start to separate. Brexit is a treaty agreement with those 10 common markets over there in Europe. What you got, brother? You call? That's right. That's right. And the dollar. So it's been a number of things that's in the work. And this is how the Most High God works behind the scenes. He breaks a country down from the inside, like how a caterpillar eats a tree from the inside. And this is basically what he's doing with America. And we're about to see these things unfold more and more in these last days. That's why it's pivotal that brothers and sisters watch the news. They just don't watch local news. Watch worldwide news, to be up on these things. What you got, Brother Bilal? Yeah. So it's a lot of things in the woodworks, and we're going to touch on some of those things. Let's go back to the book of Deuteronomy 29 and 29. We have to remember it's secrets in the Bible, and the Most High God is showing us things that he's going to do in the future. Read this again up.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 29 and verse 29.
Bring it out.
The secret things belong unto the Lord our God.
The secret things belong unto the Lord our God. That's a possessive pronoun. God is not the God of everybody. And I know that's new for new brothers and sisters that are in the truth. Like, what? I thought yes, God created everybody. But guess what? He tells you specifically in the Bible, in many different verses, that he's only the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Read on up.
But those things which are revealed belong unto us.
But the things that are revealed, and how are those things revealed? Through the scriptures. That's how the things are being revealed. That's why it's pivotal that we read. Reading is just not getting us something. This is like a spiritual forecast. Like we watch the weather to know what to wear the day before. Hey, we need to read the Bible in order to prepare our spirits for things that are going on that next day. It's the same exact way. Spirits that brothers and sisters deal with, it gives you a weather forecast on how they dealt with it in the past and how we need to deal with it in this present time and more so in the future. Read that part again up.
But those things which are revealed belong unto us.
Read on.
And to our children forever.
And that's why it's pivotal that we do what? That we teach our children, that husband guide their wives according to thus saith the Lord. That then what they're teaching the wives, guess what? The wives are doing what? Teaching the children. So guess what? This thing can continue forever and forever. Not growing up to be thoughts, not growing up to be whoremongers and whores, looking for the Cardi B's to be your example. No, you need to be looking for your mother and your father and the Most High and his son Yahushua, and for Mother Mary, for Mother Judith. We have many righteous sisters in the Bibles that sisters need to look up to. Read on up.
That we may do all the words of this law.
And that's the key right there, that we may do all the words of this law. That's why it's pivotal for us to do what? Strive to keep the commandments, not have a pattern of sin. Give me the book of Matthew, chapter 13, verse 10. Bless y'all. Because Christ was reiterating these same things. Christ reiterated the same things. That's why he spoke in parables. Christ didn't say things plainly because why? It wasn't written for everybody. This is something that they have to question. Like if Christ was for everybody, if he died for everybody, he would have just said these things openly. He wouldn't have to use parables. He would have used great plainness of speech. Read this out.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 13, verse 10.
Bring it out.
And the disciples came and said unto him, why speakest thou unto them in parables?
He's asking, why are you speaking to them or teaching them in parables? A parables is a what? Comparing one thing to another thing. Whether you using animals or you using illustration. Read on up.
He answered and said unto them, because it is given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven.
Read on.
But to them,
But to who?
but to them,
Read on up.
it is not given.
It is given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven. What is the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven? Who it's for? That's the mystery. Who it's for and who God's chosen people is. I don't give a damn what you say. Nigga, I am a child of God. No, you ain't. No, you ain't. How do we know? Because the Bible tells us so. It tells us plainly. And that goes for Israelites too as well. Because if you ain't keeping the commandments, who your God? The devil, by default. That's what we always ask. Think about it, man. All these years we really didn't know about the truth. Who was our God? The devil. Straight up and down. I know that thing hurt like, damn, I'm worshiping the devil by 20, 30 some years. Say, that's a long time. Read it again from the top.
Verse 11 from the top. He answered and said unto them, because it is given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, but to them it is not given.
But to them it is not given because they are not reading the Bible the correct way. They are not applying the commandments the right way. Go to the book of Daniel. Let's get right to it. Pull up that statue for me. Pull up that Daniel statue, that Nebuchadnezzar statue.
And make sure y'all put that precept, Deuteronomy 29 and 29, right there with Matthew 13.
That's right.
Because like I said, it belongs to us and our children. Right? Not everybody. That understanding is for us. We have that understanding, not everybody. That's what you want it.
Come. Pull up that image, Nebuchadnezzar statue. So when you read the book of Daniel, how many brothers and sisters read the book of Daniel by a show of hands? Who have read the book of Daniel by a show of hands? So this is where brothers and sisters have to go back and read it. Remember, when we read the Bible, this is like looking at our photo album. We always say that. You're reading about your foremothers, grandparents, pawpaws, aunties, and uncles. Neb, yes, but I want the big one. Find another one. Keep going, keep going. We have to say that mud too. It's always a good one that we Neb. Yeah, come on. Look at Ziggy out there. It is. So we see this statue the Most High God gave Nebuchadnezzar, ancient Babylonian, a dream. He gave him a dream about a statue. This is the vision of the statue, and this statue meant something. How many of us have had dreams all the time? We have them all the time. Those dreams are sent by the Most High. Now, you may not know the interpretation of those things, but they are definitely sent by the Most High. And unless he sent an interpreter, you won't know. So we know that Nebuchadnezzar, he represented what? His head was what? Gold. The chest is what? Silver, which represents who? Persian and Mede. So this statue represents the upcoming kingdoms in rulership. Do brothers and sisters understand that? The head represents gold and it represents the Babylonians. The chest was of silver and it represented who? Persia and Medes. The next one after that was of brass and it represented who? The Greeks. The legs were of what? Of iron, which represented who? Rome. Then we go down to the toes, which represent what? The 10 common markets. And out of the 10 common markets sprang who? America. Do brothers and sisters understand that? Read this right quick. Keep that up there. Daniel chapter 2, verse 31.
This is the book of Daniel, chapter 2, verse 31. Thou, O king, sawest and behold a great image. This great image, whose brightness was excellent.
This is the great image that he's seen. Read on.
Stood before thee, and the form thereof was terrible.
And the form thereof was terrible. Read on.
This image's head was of fine gold.
This image head was of fine gold. So we know during the Babylonian captivity, it represent a kingdom in unity, and they all represented Nebuchadnezzar as a god, showing the head is what is singular. They were all on one accord with these things. But then as we start to go down, we start to see the body does what? Divide, especially when it comes to the legs and to the toes. We starting to see kingdoms what? Be divided and splinter and trying to do their own thing, basically. Keep reading up.
His breast and his arms of silver, his belly and his thighs of brass.
So we just read that the breast, his breast, meaning his chest and his silver was of silver, which represented who, brothers and sisters? Persian and Mede. Read on up.
His breast and his arms of silver, his belly and his thighs of brass.
So we have the belly and thighs of brass, which represented who? Read on.
His legs of iron.
Which represented who? Which represent Rome. Read on up.
His feet, part of iron and part of clay.
Going into what? The 10 common markets. And out of that, America. Read on.
Thou sawest till that a stone was cut out without hands, which smote the image upon his feet that were of iron and clay.
Read on.
And break them into pieces.
It says, thou sawest till a stone was cut out without hands. Who is this stone, brothers and sisters? Yahushua. Let's get some precepts. Let's go to the book of Isaiah 38 and 16. Let's get this right quick. 28, Salakia. Who said it first? Twin.
Look, I'm looking like I know that in a three. I know mine. I know that in a three.
Remember, the Bible is about what? Similitudes and metaphors, comparing one thing to what? To another, to home in the vision. Because it's written what? In a parable. It's written in a mystery. Not everybody is supposed to understand this mystery. It's only given to them. Read this.
This is Isaiah
28 and 16. Oh, Connor.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 28 and verse 16. Therefore, thus saith the Lord God, behold, I lay in Zion for a foundation, a stone.
He lay in Zion. Another name for Zion is Israel. Read on up.
A stone.
A what?
A stone.
A stone, meaning what? A building block. It's our job to build upon the blocks that Christ have already said. Read on.
A tried stone.
Christ is a tried stone, man. How do we know that? Because guess what? He died for our sins, man. Read on up.
A precious cornerstone.
A precious cornerstone. When you are building something, you always have to have that what? That cornerstone laid down first. Read on up.
A sure foundation.
He's a sure foundation, meaning when you build upon Christ's foundation, it won't be shaky and you won't fall. Read on.
He that believeth shall not make haste.
He that believeth shall not make haste. So we see this stone in the book of Daniel is who? Christ. And what is Christ coming to do? Smote the stones at its feet. So we know ultimately, if we know that the feet is going into the 10 common markets, that means that Christ is coming back for what? For war, to make war against who? Against NATO and the U.S. This is what this image symbolizes. Let's get some more precepts. I want Acts, Salaki, Acts 4 and 10. Con. Let's get another precept on that stone. This is the vision that Daniel was breaking down to Nebuchadnezzar. He had the vision. This is how you know the Most High God was dealing with our people on a high level. Nebuchadnezzar had the vision, had the dream, and guess what? Daniel told him the dream and then broke down the dream. No one on the planet Earth can do that. Not none of these crazy people that they have out here in the world. No, only the prophets of the Most High. Read this.
This is the book of Acts, chapter 4 and verse 10. Be it known unto you all and to all the people of Israel that by the name of Yahushua of Nazareth, whom ye crucified, whom God raised from the dead, even by him doth this man stand here before you whole. This is the stone which was set at naught of
read that part again.
This is the stone which was set at naught of you builders, which has become the head of the corner.
He's telling you plainly, Christ, same stone that's basically doing what? Smiting the 10 toes, meaning Christ is coming back to take down all the powers that be. Read that again, verse 10.
Verse 10 from the top.
Make sure y'all highlight and underline it and precept it with Daniel's. That's what we mean by what? Precept must be upon precept. Read it again.
Verse 10 from the top. Be it known unto you all and to all the people of Israel that by the name of Yahushua of Nazareth, whom ye crucified, whom God raised from the dead, even by him doeth this man stand here before you whole. This is the stone which was set at naught of you builders.
This is the stone. Telling you plainly, Christ is that stone, which was set at naught of you builders. Who were the builders at this time? The scribes and the Pharisees. Because We were supposed to have been building off of them. They were the ones trying to do what? Supposed to keep us in the ways of the law. Read it again, verse 11 from the top.
Verse 11 from the top. This is the stone which was set at naught of you builders, which has become the head of the corner.
Christ is the head of the corner. He's the head Israelite in charge. Read on.
Verse 12. Neither is there salvation in any other, for there is none other name under heaven given among men whereby we must be saved.
And that's plain. Christ has all these titles under him. Let's go back to the book of Daniel. You want some up? Daniel chapter 2, verse 34. Make sure y'all write these things down. We're going too fast. Raise your hand. Put that picture back up. Keep that mug up. Don't even worry about us. I want to home in that point. I really won't. See if you, yeah, the stone coming in. It's one picture. Yeah, it's a picture out there. We're going to have you just start saving them for when we need to put them up for later videos that brothers are doing. Because we always want to home in the visuals, man. Always. Stone striking the statue. Because scholars, historians, they understand what this means. They'll never teach us what it means. That's why the Most High God is raising us back up in these last days to be able to understand and break these things down. Yeah, I want it with color though. Go up. It should be another. I mean, scroll down the other way. Like it should be one. It's one out there. Do we go back up? Oh yeah, that's good enough. It's another one. Yeah, come. That one. Uh-huh. So remember, this is what this symbolized, and the scriptures is letting us know what this is going into. Meaning when Christ comes back, he's taking down the powers that be. Think about it. You think Christ is setting up a kingdom next to Donald Trump? A lot of times people have this painted image of Jesus Christ where he's coming back to pass out candy and flowers and thinking that everybody's making it to the kingdom. No. For Christ to come back, he has to take down the powers that be. Do brothers and sisters understand that? Read this again.
This is the book of Daniel, chapter 2, and verse 34. Thou sawest till that a stone was cut out without hands, which smote the image upon his feet.
So we have this image where the stone is smoting the image upon the feet. Read on.
That were of iron and clay, and break them to pieces.
And he break them to pieces, meaning he's taking down the powers that be. Read on up.
Then was the iron, the clay, the brass, the silver, and the gold.
Which represent what, brothers? I need Bruce to stay. Read verse 35 again.
Verse 35 from the top. Then was the iron, the clay, the brass, the silver, and the gold broken to pieces.
Hold up. The nations. I need Bruce on point. That's why we literally going over this. Because this is going to come up, whether Bruce think it or not, out there while we out there teaching. I need Bruce to know what they're talking about. These particular precious metals represent the nations. It's many different things that can represent nations in the Bible. You have metals. You also have what? Animals. You have waters. That's why discernment of the scriptures is so critical. What else did you say, Brother Yadawan? You said something? And trees. Thanks, Ak. You have to have discernment of these things. Read verse 35 again, Ak.
Verse 35 from the top. Then was the iron, the clay, the brass, the silver, and the gold broken to pieces together, and became like the chaff of the summer, threshing floors.
So that chaff is that leftover that you get from the wheat boiler that just blows. The wind takes it. This is what these other nations are going to be when Christ comes back. Read on up.
And the wind carried them away, that no place was found for them. And the stone that smote the image became a great mountain.
Became a what up?
Became a great mountain.
Read on up.
And filled the whole earth.
What does a mountain represent? Governments. That's why they have what they call at the G summit that these nations go to. You have the G7 summit. Pull it up for me. This is going into the top nations that gather together, that counsel about us, that so-called Negroes and Latinos ain't invited to. Think tanks. We're not invited to these things. Why? Because their main agenda is us and how they can keep us in sin. Yeah, just pull up G Summit right here at the bottom, Italy. Okay, yeah, you good up. It don't matter. Either one. So it's telling you, go back up. Let me read it. The G7 of intergovernmental, political, and economic forum consists of Canada, France, Germany, Italy, Japan, the United Kingdom, and the United States. Additionally, the European Union is a non-enumerated number. So we see that this is basically going into what? The 7 top nations in the earth. One thing that you don't see in there, what is one thing? What people don't you see in there? You can say melanated people. He gonna make it plain, niggas. We don't see them in there. You don't see nobody from Africa, even though we ain't Africans. You don't see them in there. We see who this is literally aimed at, man. When it talks about the summit, it's talking about the people at the top of the mountain. Mountains represent governments in the Bible. Read that part again up.
Verse 36, 35. Then was the iron, the clay, the brass, the silver, and the gold broken to pieces together. It became like the chaff of the summer threshing floors. And the wind carried them away, that no place was found for them. And the stone that smote the image became a great mountain and filled the whole earth. This is the dream, and we will tell the interpretation thereof before the king.
So we see, like we said, that mountain. Let me get a precept right quick, then we get to Captain Yara. Go to the book of Isaiah, chapter 9. Who knows what I want? Showing government. Christ is coming to rule the government. That's the spirit. Go to Isaiah chapter 9, verse, we want to start 7. You start at verse 6. We'll get it, all of it.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 9 and verse 6. For unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given.
Going into Christ, read on.
And the government shall be upon his shoulders.
And the government shall be upon his shoulders. Read on up.
And his name shall be called Wonderful. Counselor, the mighty God.
Read on up.
The everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace.
It says the mighty God, showing that guess what? Christ is a God, but he's what? Not the most high God. Gods. But does that make us the most high God? No, it does not. Just going into a ruler, going into a judge. Read on up. It says the everlasting Father. Because what? Christ is going to be unto us as a father. A father does what? Gives wisdom, give advice, he gives counsel. Read on up.
The Prince of Peace, of the increase of his government.
Of the increase of his what?
Of his government.
Read on up.
And peace, there shall be no end.
So Christ is coming to take down the nations and to do what? Set up his government up under his nation and his people, but in righteousness. Read on up.
Upon the throne of David and upon his kingdom, to order it.
To do what?
To order it.
It's Christ's job to order the planet Earth, to get it back in righteousness. Read on up.
And to establish it with judgment and with justice from henceforth, even forever. The zeal of the Lord of hosts will perform this.
Go ahead, Op.
And that's the thing, because so many people want to say that, oh yeah, Christ is ruling his kingdom right now. We just read in Isaiah 9 and 7, it says, what? Upon this kingdom to order it. Is this word in order right now? to establish it with judgment and justice. These heathen nations have not received their judgment, man. For you to say that Christ is ruling in this kingdom right now, it's asinine, man. Right? The Lord is not in this wicked kingdom right now where there are boy girls and girl boys and dog cats and cat dogs, and if you want to be a tree, you can. So this is not Christ's kingdom, man. Judgment and justice. Give me one precept, 89 and 14 of Psalms. Then we'll get another real quick one. Psalms 89 and 14. Start at 13. Just another precept for Isaiah 9 and 7.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 89 and verse 13.
Bring it out.
Thou hast a mighty arm.
Thou hast a mighty arm. That arm is going into who? Christ is the arm of the Lord. We have a mighty arm. Read.
Strong is thy hand.
Strong is thy hand. Read.
And high is thy right hand.
And high is thy right hand. Read 14.
Justice and judgment.
What did he say?
Justice and judgment.
Or what?
Or the habitations of thy throne.
Judgment and justice will be the habitation of Christ's throne, man. You're not going to be in Christ's kingdom without judgment and justice, right? If it's right, it's going to be right. If it's wrong, you're going to get your judgment, man, right? This is going to be his habitation. Read.
And truth shall go before thy face.
And what shall go before thy face?
And truth shall go before thy face.
Whole lot of lies going on right now.
And truth shall go before thy face.
It's a whole lot of lies in this kingdom right now. There is no truth, man. Nor knowledge of God in the land. Right? What precept is that, brothers? That's right. Hosea 4 and 6. There is no truth or knowledge of God in the land, man. This is not the kingdom of Christ right now. Sure, God is still reigning and ruling, yes. Well, when Christ is going to have judgment and justice, one more Isaiah chapter 2. Because it spoke on what? The mountain of God, the mountain of Christ, right? Isaiah 2. See what's going on. Isaiah chapter 2 and verse 2.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 2 and verse 2.
Bring it out.
And it shall come to pass in the last days that the mountains of the Lord's house shall be established, and the top of the mountains, and shall be exalted above the hills, and all nations shall flow unto it.
So we know these mountains are going into the governments, right? The Lord's government is going to be top government, and all other nations are going to flow into our government. I mean, everybody's going to be keeping what? Laws, statutes, and commandments, right? That's what it's going to be. Our government, the government of the Lord, Christ's government is going to reign over all other governments. This is when what? He breaks the statutes to pieces, right? Judgment and justice. Put all these together with this, man, right? Read it again.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 2 and verse 2. And it shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain of the Lord's house shall be established, and the top of the mountains, and shall be exalted above the hills.
It shall be exalted, right? This is going to be top priority, man, right? Because when the Bible says when the righteous are in rulership, all the people are going to rejoice, man, right? Because there's going to be equity and truth, man. You're not going to be able to do what America does to look what they're trying to do to Greenland right now, right?
That's right.
Because Trump said it, don't make me come take it. Basically, he basically said, don't make me come take it. Right? He trying to be nice, but he said, yeah, don't make me come take it because he want it. Right? But there's going to be equity and truth involved in this world. Read.
and all nations shall flow unto it.
And all nations going to flow into our commandments, our government, right? Go ahead.
Let's go to the book of Lamentations, chapter 4, verse 2. Because just like how we were saying, the Most High God in certain instances compares nations to precious metals. See where he compares Israel to. Lamentations chapter 4, verse 2.
This the book of Lamentations, chapter 4 and verse 2.
Uh-huh.
The precious sons of Zion,
The precious sons of Zion, Israelites, read on.
comparable to fine gold.
What does he compare us to?
Comparable to fine gold.
He compares us to fine gold. So we see that many times in the scriptures where the Most High God can compare nations to certain elements and metals. You Brews understand that. Read on.
How they esteem as earthen pitchers.
Now we are like earthen pitchers, meaning brought to a low estate. Think about gold, man. You have to dig deep. You have to dig hard to find those things, man. Then once you find that gold, you have to do what? Weed out the impurities. It may have zinc in there, it may have copper in there. You got to get all those things. Those things are compared to the sin that we deal with. Brother may be struggling with lust. You have a sister struggling with envy. Have a brother struggling with jealousy. You have to purify that gold and build it back into that fine, precious gold that the Most High God wants us to be. Read on up.
The work of the hands of the potter.
The work of the hands of the potter. Who is the potter? The Most High. He's using this Bible to do what? To craft us into that precious, precious metal that we see, man, that brothers and sisters are trying to come back to now. Go back to the book of Daniel, chapter 2, verse 36.
This is the book of Daniel, chapter 2, verse 36.
Pull up that statue again. Read this.
This is the dream, and we will tell the interpretation thereof.
It says, this is the dream, and we will tell the interpretation thereof before the king. So not only was he able to know the dream, guess what? He was able to do what? To interpret the dream. Hold that precept. Go to the book of Ecclesiastes 8 and 1. Ecclesiastes chapter 8, verse 1. Ecclesiastes chapter 8 and verse number 1.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 8 and verse 1.
Uh-huh.
Verse 1. Who is as the wise man?
Who is as the wise man? What is a wise man according to the scriptures? A man that keeps the commandments of the Most High. That's what a wise man is according to Psalms 19 and 7. Read on.
And who knoweth the interpretation of a thing?
And who knoweth the interpretation of a thing? Read on up.
A man's wisdom maketh his face to shine.
So he's letting us know through man's wisdom. A man's wisdom maketh his face to shine. Like we're saying, you can literally see the wisdom on brothers and sisters when brothers and sisters are in the spirit. You can see that dull spirit when brothers and sisters are out of the spirit, man. Countenance darken it. Countenance change it. Read on up.
And the boldness of his face shall be changed.
Shall be what?
Shall be changed.
Meaning you act in different mannerism. Once you understand that you're an Israelite, that you God's chosen people, that we held to a higher standard, our people start to walk differently, man. You hold your head higher. You understand that, guess what? I'm God's chosen. I know I have requirements, man. And if I don't meet those requirements, it's judgments that comes with that. I know that, guess what? By me being a princess of the Most High, I cannot just carry myself any type of way around my daughter. I can't speak ratchet around people or really around anybody, really. We really do want to change that. I know how we can get when we're excited around each other, but even in our language, we want to change, because don't think that other sisters don't look to y'all for an example. When y'all at the job, when y'all at the grocery store, think about these things. I want brothers and sisters to think about that when we out in public. Are you wearing your fringes? Are you dressed modestly? Or you dressing to show the curvature of your figure, not knowing that the figure of your body is only for your husband? These are things that, guess what, that wisdom shows. Even like with the brothers, that men are stand up brothers that have integrity, that know how to speak, that know how to conduct themselves, that's looking out for sisters, not trying to lust after them, watching out for the children. These are things that the Most High God is commanding us to stand up for in these last days. Do brothers and sisters understand that? Let's go back. Daniel chapter 2 and verse 36 again.
It's the book of Daniel, chapter 2, and verse 36. This is the dream, and we will tell the interpretation thereof before the king. Thou, O king, art a king of kings.
Read on.
For the God of heaven had given thee a kingdom.
So the Most High God has given Nebuchadnezzar a kingdom. Read on up.
For the God of heaven had given thee a kingdom, power, and strength.
Read on.
And glory.
Read on. So we know that Nebuchadnezzar ruled in what time? Babylonian captivity. What year, Sister Adiva? Sister on point. All praise, man. Some battle axe sisters up in here. Need sisters like that on point, because, like I say, it's our job to do what make the Bible the point in time when this is occurring. Hey, the Bible becomes more and more realer to brothers and sisters, man. Read on up.
And wheresoever the children of men dwell, the beast of the field and the fowls of the heaven had he given into thine hand.
So the Most High God literally gave Nebuchadnezzar what we know today as the known Middle East. He gave him all that. Show us a map of that from, you could just say, from Assyria all the way down into Egypt. We love to pull up these maps because a lot of times we have to learn to associate ourselves with, we stayed in these particular areas. Newsflash, we are not from America. I know that's shocking to brother. Nigga, you got me messed up, huh? Oh, Egypt. Yeah, for real, nigga. You ain't putting that on me, nigga. I ain't from, nigga. I'm from Crenshaw Mafia. What do you say? Brother, you is not from no Crenshaw Mafia, man. And our people really do believe that. We from this particular area, man. Because all of this, technically, according to the Bible, is supposed to be the land of Israel. Israel is not what we just see right here where it says Jerusalem. I'm talking about God is small as hell. Esau hell, man. All of this from the river Euphrates all the way down to the river Nile. All of that, that's circumference from Euphrates all the way around the Persian Gulf. All of that is the land of Israel. For brothers and sisters that don't know, according to the scriptures, this is our land. Read on up.
Verse 38. And wheresoever the children of man dwell, the beast of the field and the fowls of the heaven had he given into thine hand.
Read on up.
And had made thee ruler over them all. Thou art this head of gold.
So now he's giving us the interpretation of the dream that he had. He's showing them that, guess what? Nebuchadnezzar is what? Is the head of gold. Literally showing you in the precepts. Read on up.
And after thee shall arise another kingdom inferior to thee.
Why was it inferior to the Babylonians? Just even in the name, you have the Persian and Mede showing you that they were what? Not fully unified. Not fully unified. If they were unified, it would be what? One name. Plain. That's why it's saying that they were inferior to them. When did the Persian and Mede start ruling, Brother Bala? So you have from 586 BC to 538 BC of the Persian and Mede rule. Need brothers and sisters to write it down. Y'all getting another quiz after class. Like, damn. Yes, damn it. Write it down. Read on up. Who said that? Well, you know, I'm taking it. I thought it was. Yeah, you already know, boy. Start throwing mics up in this mud. Yeah, coming up. 586 BC for Babylonians, so like you. 538 BC for Persian and Mede. The dates are up there. The brothers and sisters don't have them. They are up there. Read on up. Verse 39.
Verse 39 from the top. And after thee And after thee shall rise another kingdom inferior to thee, and another third kingdom of brass, which shall bear rule over all the earth.
So after Babylon ruled, we have what? Persian and Medes come up and rule. So remember, this is just showing you throughout history what races ruled at what time. All races, the Most High God has given all races their specific time to rule the planet Earth. But when the Israelites come up to rule, our kingdom will never be destroyed. That's the only difference. You brothers and sisters understand that. Y'all gonna get somewhere. I bet y'all would have paid attention up in history class in school. Read on, Op.
Verse 40. And the fourth kingdom shall be strong as iron, for as much as iron breaketh in pieces, and subdueth all things, and as iron that breaketh all these, shall it break in pieces and bruise.
So we see ultimately who came up and conquered the Persian and Medes? Greece. So we see how one kingdom is translated from another. That's all that this statue represents. Give me that in the book of what? Sirach chapter 10, verse 8. That's all the Most High God is showing you. Each kingdom had their time to rule. And we're getting ready, repenting, having faith in Christ to get ready for ours. Think about it. The Most High God is not giving the kingdom to niggas and thoughts. I'm sorry, he ain't. You ain't gonna have Cardi B twerking up in the Passover. She gonna die. Straight up. Christ ain't. We coming back to royalty, the way we speak, our mannerism. It ain't gonna be no greedy brothers up in the damn kitchen with 2 and 3 plates up in their damn hand. Christ, I wish, do it, nigga. I want you to. He gonna cut a hand off. I'm talking about straight righteous etiquette when it comes to the kingdom, man. And that's what we preparing for. Read on, Op. What you gonna say, Op? Read on.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 10, verse 8.
Bring it out.
Because of unrighteous dealings.
Because of unrighteous dealings. So we know the Babylonians ultimately had their time to rule till they got to that certain level of wickedness. Then the Most High God did what? Use the Persian and the Medes to take them down. Read on up.
Because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another.
So just like with us, because of our wickedness and unrighteous dealings, we had the kingdom what? Taken from us. When do we have the kingdom? Any brother know? Raise your hand. Brother Keith, when do we have the kingdom? When do we rule the planet Earth? You should know this is easy. Who's the richer? Just tell me the king. Who? Not even. Who came after David? Who is David's son? Solomon. During that time of King Solomon's reign, which was how many years? 40 years. We ruled the planet Earth. Only thousands of years of history. And we only ruled the planet Earth for 40. That shows us that what? We was wicked as hell. Wicked. And we kept going into captivity. The Most High God kept punishing us for breaking his commandments. To now, when we say a commandment that you breaking, hey, that granny give you a look so evil, you better run away. You trying to tell her to keep the commandments. The commandments are far from our mind, man. And we don't even think about keeping God's laws. We only ruled the planet Earth for 40 years, man. Only. Read on out. Read that again from the top.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 10, verse 8. Because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit.
Because we was wicked towards one another, man. Putting usury upon each other, trying to steal each other's land. I mean, we was wicked as hell as a nation of people. Read on.
The kingdom is translated from one people to another.
So we see the Most High God take the kingdom from one nation and give it to another. Take that kingdom from a nation and give it to another. Take that one and give it to another. Now we're in the situation that we're in right now. Go back to the book of Daniel, chapter 2, verse 40. I need y'all to write these things down in your book too. 39 Persian and Medes. 40 is Greece. and Rome. Read verse 40 again from the top.
This is the book of Daniel, chapter 2, and verse 40.
Uh-huh.
And the fourth kingdom shall be strong as iron,
Read on.
for as much as iron breaketh in pieces, and subdueth all things, and as iron that breaketh all these, shall it break in pieces and bruise.
So we see that when Rome ultimately came up into power, Greece came into power. This is basically when white supremacy started in the planet Earth. What sister know the year white supremacy started? Let me see. Y'all know I'm always getting the ones who's purposely looking down. Y'all should know that. Yes. Or another name for white supremacy is Greece. When did the Greeks start to rule the planet Earth? Who said it? Sister Adara. All praise, give sister a hand. 333 BC. 333 years Christ came on the earth. That's what BC means, before Christ. This is when it started. It started with Alexander the Greek. Yeah. Well, I always slip and say, the freak. Keep it PG. Read verse 41 out.
Verse 41. And whereas thou sawest the feet and toes, part of potter's clay and part of iron.
It says part of potter's clay and part of iron. That part of iron is going ultimately into them taking customs from Rome. Do brothers and sisters understand that? Think about it. Even with this statue, pull the statue back up. So this is Alexander the Freak. We ain't recognize him. He was a homo, but he could fight like hell. Yeah, for real. It is. Technically, yeah. We PG in her, excuse the language. Say for real. He gonna come with a sword. So we ultimately see, y'all could say in the image, that's why brothers and sisters take a picture. Y'all can pull this up on your phone. Y'all need to understand this. So ultimately, we know that their traditions that the other nations have spring from Rome. Let's get that in the book of 2 Maccabees. That's why it says partly clay and part of iron. Who knows what I want? Might be the second. With their traditions and customs, who they set up and reign. See if Bruce know where I'm going. Kind of what I'm talking about. I don't know. I'm asking y'all. Those who reign. Yeah, in the Senate. Thanks, Al. Give me First Maccabees chapter 8 and start up at verse 1.
This is the book of First Maccabees, chapter 8, verse 1. Now Judas had heard of the fame of the Romans.
So now we seeing with Judas Maccabees, they coming into the Romans. They knew about the Romans. Remember, the Romans and the Greeks are the same race of people. They are nothing but Edomites. All of them. They all stem and come from Esau. Read on.
That they were mighty and valiant men, and such as would lovingly accept all that joined themselves unto them.
Read on.
And make a league of amity with all that came unto them.
So if you got down with Rome's policies, then they guess what? They made a league with you, similar to what America does today. If you are in compliance with America and what they want to do to your country, they will raise you up. They will become your friends. Read on up.
And that they were men of great value. It was told him also of their wars and noble acts, which they had done among the Galatians.
Read on up.
And how they had conquered them, and brought them under tribute.
And that's similar to what America does today. They conquer nations and do what? Bring them under their tribute. They go and set up corporations in that particular country and destroy it from the inside out, steal resources and all that if they don't agree with you. Read on up.
And what they had done in the country of Spain for the winning of the mines of the silver and gold, which is there.
And they doing the same thing today, where they go to these particular countries and do what? Take over their resources. Read on up.
And that by their policy and patience, they had conquered all the place.
Read that part again, up.
And that by their policy.
And by their policy, meaning by their what? By their laws. Read on up.
And patience, they had conquered all the place.
Read on up.
Though it were very far from them.
Though it were very far from them. It's nowhere that America can't reach in the planet Earth, man. We see how they easily took down a whole country president, man. Think about that, man. That's some heavy stuff. And that place ain't close to them. Read on up.
And the kings also that came against them from the uttermost parts of the earth.
Read on.
Till they had discomforted them.
Read on.
And given them a great overthrow, so that the rest did give them tribute every year.
So we see ultimately they're doing this to do what? Have people give tribute to them or pay them taxes continually. Jump down to verse 13.
Verse 13.
Start at verse 12.
Verse 12. But with their friends and such
Start at
as
verse 11. Salakia, I know. I know, damn it. So read it.
Verse 11. It was told him besides how they destroyed and brought under their dominion all other kingdoms and isles that at any time resisted them. But with their friends and such as relied upon them, they kept amity.
So we see during the time of the 10 toes or NATO, we see ultimately where United States, they became friends with one another. They were sharing technology in basically nuke technology. Pull up that for me. Pull up the NATO treaty. Pull up the NATO treaty alliance.
Because it said they made amity. What does that word mean? Amity.
ATY.
But it's an agreement with the amity. It's that, hey, we not gonna get you for this, right? We go ride together. We gonna let this thing ride out. We not go, as long as we on the same page, we good, right? That's kind of what amnesty is. Somebody go to jail and they speak on things, they get amnesty. I mean, they won't get hindered for what they say, right, or what they do.
So NATO means North Atlantic Treaty Agreement. For brothers and sisters that don't know that, North Atlantic Treaty. So this was a treaty that they brought together to be able to do what? Share nuclear technology amongst European powers. Because they knew after World War II that war decimated a lot of them. So they knew that they would share technology, ensuring that they wouldn't have a nuclear war amongst themselves. But they didn't share it with who? With colored folks, basically. Scroll down. So under Article 5 of the North Atlantic Treaty Parties agreed that an armed attack against one or more of them shall be considered an attack against them all. So they align themselves with, guess what, being on the same side. But now we see the Most High God doing what? Dividing them. That's just like how what? Toes are divided. We ultimately see how the kingdom started with the head in unity among the Babylonians. They had one man, one God. Ultimately, we start to see it splinter and fracture when it came to the what? To the torso and to the legs. Going into what? Into Greek and Roman captivities. We started to see them raise up a what? A senate, to where you're not just having one man rule over you. You have a what? A company of men rule over you. Read this.
Verse 12. But with their friends and such as relied upon them, they kept amity.
Read on up.
In that they had conquered kingdoms, both far and nigh, and so much as all that heard of their name were afraid of them.
So even during their early stages, all those nations came together to do what? To divide up Africa and steal the resources from Africa. Read on out.
Also that whom they would help to a kingdom, those reign.
So those that they would help to a kingdom, those people reign. That's why they were so heavy at doing what? Taking down Gaddafi, taking down Hassan Hussein. Even though the CIA set him up, he started to do what? Go against what they was telling him to do. So if you didn't listen to what America told you to do, they would do what? Excommunicate you or assassinate you. Read on up.
And whom again they displaced.
Read on up.
Finally, that they were greatly exalted. Yet for all this, none of them wore a crown.
Meaning it wasn't just one man totally in power. Read on up.
Or was clothed in purple, to be magnified thereby.
Read on.
Moreover, how they had made for themselves a Senate house.
So we see the Romans making a Senate house. Who makes a Senate house today? America. Show the similarities between Roman senates and American senates, showing you that they are still of that iron and that clay. You brothers and sisters see that. We still ain't deviated from the topic that we was on in Daniel chapter 2, verse 40. After this, we going right back to it. Look at the architecture. Still the same thing. America is nothing but just Rome repackaged again. Saying the same thing. Go pull up a Roman Senate and American Senate. No, you had it right. You could have kept that and American just Senate houses. Take off houses because I want to see their number. Put up Senate representatives. Like this right here. Do they put it together? Damn, I don't want the one. Like the two pictures that you could put side by side. I want something like that and that together. But pull it, go up some, let's see. So even when we see, I hope brothers and sisters can see. So even like how they were in Roman Senate houses, we see it like in the modern day times, like how they have the House of Congress. It's no different. All they did was just repackage it. That's all they did. Now pull up America's. Just take off Rome. Yeah. This right here, yeah. Same thing. This one, over, yeah, that one. Seeing it's the same exact thing because America know that they do come from Rome. They know these things. Hold that picture. Read this again up.
Verse 15. Moreover, how they had made for themselves a Senate house.
Hey, what up?
A Senate house.
A Senate house. Make sure brothers write that down. Senate house. Y'all need to know this. Read on up.
Wherein 320 men sat in council daily, consulting always for the people.
That's what they do today. Read on up.
To the end they might be well ordered.
To the end they might be well ordered. And this is what America has that same system set up to order the people. Read on up.
And that they committed their government to one man every year.
It's not every year. This time it's every what year? Every 2 years. Or is it 4 years? 4 years. Salakia. Read on up.
Who ruled over all their country, and that all were obedient to that one. And
so we will call this today a what? A president. Read on up.
And that there was neither envy nor emulation among them.
So we seeing how they have the same tactics. Go back to that Daniel chapter 2. That's why it's showing you it's no new thing under the sun, man. Daniel chapter 2, verse 42.
This is the book of Daniel, chapter 2, and verse 42. And as the toes of the feet were part of iron and part of clay.
Because it's telling you that they did what? They still had systems put in place by Rome. that was part of clay and part of iron. That iron represents what? The military capability. Because guess what? Rome had a powerful military in that time. We think about today, America has the most powerful military in the planet. Read on out.
So the kingdom shall be partly strong and partly broken.
Read on out.
And whereas thou sawest iron mixed with miry clay.
So we see that. We see the kingdom of America being what? Slowly dividing upon each other. Slowly but surely. We're seeing that, guess what? Now we're seeing certain Republicans starting to align themselves with what? With Democrats. They kind of going against Trump because we just seen another Caucasian shot down by their own damn people. We seeing these things starting to come up, man. What you got, Up? Yes, that's exactly what that is. Going into Democrats, going into Republicans. That two-party system. So we starting to see these things fracture. And we know that these things are what? Prophecy according to the Bible. Hold that precept. Let's go back to where we was at. Isaiah chapter 19. Start at verse 1. Hold your precept in Daniels. Read that out.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 19 and verse 1. Burden of Egypt. Behold, the Lord rideth upon a swift cloud.
That swift cloud is going into a chariot of the Most High. It's not Christ literally riding on a floating cloud that we see. Remember, it's a similitude and a metaphor. Read on.
It shall come into Egypt, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence.
Also, Egypt is what? A metaphor for America. Every time that you read about Egypt in the Bible, it's not literally talking about Egypt. It's talking about America because they have what? The same spirit that Egypt had. How? By having us in captivity, like how we was in the Exodus. Do brothers and sisters understand that? Read on up.
And the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it.
Read on up.
And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians.
And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians. Why is it saying that? Because it's basically hip talk and a metaphor for Esau versus Esau. Have we ever wanted to know why in the hell do they have an obelisk in Washington, D.C.? Y'all not Egyptians. Y'all hate dark-skinned people. Why would you try to use and take their customs? Because they have the same spirit of Egypt. Pull that obelisk up. Obelisk. Try and spell it, but Obeslisk. List X. Okay, come. Damn, we always wrong. Washington Monument. Yeah, put Washington Monument. So why in the hell will they have something like this in Washington, D.C.? When we know that they clearly done got this from who? From the Egyptians. This is why the Most High God is calling them the Egyptians symbolically, because they literally done stole and took the customs by setting up their architecture and by having the children of Israel enslaved for over 400 years, like how they had us in Egypt enslaved. Saying the same thing. Read on up. Verse 2.
Verse 2 from the top. And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight every one against his brother.
So that's what we're seeing right now. We're starting to see them doing what? Fighting one against another. Because now supposed to be shooting down our people. We was made to be shooting down these other people, man. This is how the Most High God brings that divide amongst them to get them to do what? Go against one another. Let's go to another precept. Let's go to that second Ezra. Come on. Let's go to that second Ezra chapter 15, verse 20. Saying the same thing that we read here in Isaiah 19 and verse 2. Second Ezra chapter 15, verse 20. Read that out.
This is the book of Second Ezra, chapter 15 and verse 20. Behold, said God, I will call together all the kings of the earth to reverence me.
So ultimately, the Most High God is working on the minds of the powers that be to get them to turn one against another. Read on up.
Which are from the rising of the sun.
The rising of the sun is what landmass? China. Read on.
from the south, from the east, and Libanus.
And Libanus.
Libanus.
Libanus is what today? Lebanon. Read on up.
To turn themselves one against another.
To do what? Read it again.
To turn themselves one against another.
The Most High God is having the powers that be turn themselves one against another. Read on.
And repay the things that they have done to them.
Read on up.
Like as they do yet this day unto my chosen.
Ultimately, the Most High God is having them fight one against another for who? For our sake. Plain as day. So when people are not seeing it, they can't understand. Why we always got to have war? Just have love. Well, if we have love, we're going to continue to be enslaved and oppressed as a nation of people. Be honest. We're always going to be on the bottom and not the head. Then you have the Negro that don't understand here, Israelite, and that the world, well, as long as I got a nice car and a nice house, I'm good. What good is that if the planet Earth was given to you? That is no good at all. That's not a good deal.
What to say, you can be the supervisor of the job or you can own them all. Which one you want?
Read on, Up.
So will I do also, and recompense in their bosom. Thus saith the Lord God, my right hand shall not spare the sinners.
Meaning Christ, when he comes back, he's not sparing people that break his laws. Read on.
And my sword shall not cease over them that shed innocent blood upon the earth.
Let's go back to the book of Daniel. Pull up that 10 comment markers up. Daniel chapter 10, verse 43. So we know in its early stages, it was 10 common markets. But we know ultimately they started doing what? Adding nations to it. You know, Esau ain't slick. They still known as the 10 common markets, though. Most High God always leaves clues in there. Say it again. Yeah, just the 10 only. Is that them? Go back up. Is that more? I thought they was in. Yeah. Put a 10 common market names. Yeah, for real. No damn farmers market, man. Yeah, for real. Put EU 10 common markets. Put it at the beginning. EU 10 common markets. It might bring up 10 markets in Europe. Yeah. EU 10 common. Yeah, pull it up. Yeah. So we see the map. So we have Ireland, United Kingdom. You have Denmark, you have Netherlands, you have East Germany, you have West Germany, Luxembourg, France, Portugal, Spain, Italy, Greece. So we see how this thing started. Ultimately, we know that these are all what? European countries. Read verse 43.
This is the book of Daniel, chapter 2, and verse 43.
Uh-huh.
And whereas thou sawest iron mixed with miry clay,
Read on up.
they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men.
Meaning they started to do what? Mix among the other nations. Read on.
But they shall not cleave one to another.
But they shall not cleave one to another, because even within that, we still have different politics, different ways of life. That's why we know America is a great melting pot. But even like Martin Luther King, one of the most divided days in America is what day? Sunday. Because black people go to their own church, white people go to their own church, East Indians go to their own church, and guess what? Ishmael go to their own church. If we so united, why don't we just go to one church? And don't think that America is not trying to do that. One banking system, one world religion to home in the vision. Read on up.
even as iron is not mixed with clay.
So you can't mix iron with clay. Read on up.
And in the days of these kings shall the God of heaven set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed.
So it's showing you the Most High God is doing that what? Right now. Right now, he's sealing the 144,000 and the 1/3 of the elect. And he's waiting on that last number so those nukes can start going off. A lot of times our people we be in la la land, not knowing that guess what? These nuclear weapons that they have, these things weren't created for nothing. They are actually going to use them. And like we always say, newsflash, those bunkers ain't for black and Hispanic people. Now, I'm cute. You better look at these lashes and let me in. Nigga, no. You ain't getting in there that day. Go ahead,
Let's go back to Isaiah 19 right quick, because ultimately it's because of this. It's real easy and simple. Isaiah 19 and 14.
Oh, yes, sir. I'm talking about arrows waiting to go to the mark. Like,
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 19 and verse 14. The Lord had mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, and they have caused Egypt to err in every work thereof.
Err means to what? Go off, right?
That's right.
Ultimately become destroyed. Read.
As a drunken man staggered in his vomit.
So what do y'all think that mingled pervert? What is that perverse spirit? What do y'all think that is? That perverse spirit that the Lord has mingled.
Well, we just went over this in Count 101.
That's the spirit.
That is, man.
What is that perverse spirit that the Lord has mingled? Read it one more time.
Verse 14 from the top. The Lord had mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, and they have caused Egypt to err in every work thereof, as a drunken man staggered in his vomit.
What is that perverse spirit that has caused Egypt or America today in the EU to come and walk into what? Err? Pride. That's exactly what it is. Pride. That is that perverse spirit that the Lord has put upon them, man. And who has the most pride? Donald Trump got the most pride out of all these people, man. Right? Putin, they not trying to give up and back down. Kim Jong, they ain't trying to back down that pride. That's that perverse spirit that the Lord has put upon them, man. That's why they done uplifted the skirts of each other, and that's why it's gonna happen, right? Because the pride, man, that perverse spirit the Lord have mingled upon them. And now what? They not trying to turn down their collar no more. They ain't trying to turn it down no more. That first Maccabees,
They
chapter
trying to
8,
turn it up.
yeah, that first Maccabees, that enmity that they had with each other.
For real.
Oh, it's no more enmity now. It's no holds barred now. Yeah, everything is off now. Go ahead.
Let's go back to that Daniel. Because think about it, man. That precept right there is heavy, man. Because even in these last days, the Most High God is working on their minds to cause them to make decisions that they normally wouldn't have made. Think about it. You got Trump saying it blatantly. They were talking codes years ago. He telling you plain, we want it and we gonna take it. Just like Ox said, how you gonna take a whole damn country? And he literally just did it with Venezuela, man. So they had a capability, but they saying it more and more plainly and more pridefully. Read this, Ox.
Huh? And what was that picture? And what did Chris Tucker say?
Funny,
What did Chris Tucker say? He was funny. He said, "Push the button."
yeah,
push
for real.
But they gonna push it.
Boy, and we know that he will.
Mm-hmm.
Read that, Ox.
This is the book of Daniel, chapter 2,
Verse 44 again.
and verse 44. And in the days of these kings,
These 10 common markets, knowing ultimately is going into America as well. Read on.
shall the God of heaven set up a kingdom.
And he's setting up his kingdom as we speak. Us coming to class, learning to keep the commandments, repenting, turning back to the faith in Yahushua, that's setting up a kingdom, man. Read on out.
which shall never be destroyed.
And this kingdom, we ain't got to worry about this kingdom being destroyed, worried about brothers being too greedy, worrying about, guess what, sisters envying one another, brothers being jealous because they ain't got an amount of land. No, everything is going to be in perfect righteousness. Read on out.
And the kingdom shall not be left to other people.
Read that part again.
And the kingdom shall not be left to other people.
What that part mean, Daoud? And the kingdom shall not be left to other people. It's only for us. Telling you plainly. Just opposing Daniel's people. Daniel's people is who? Israelites. It's telling you plainly that the kingdom is not for other people. Read on.
But it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and it shall stand forever.
That's telling you plainly. Read on.
For as much as thou sawest that the stone was cut out of the mountain without hands, and that it break in pieces the iron, the brass, the clay, the silver, and the gold.
Meaning what? Christ is coming back to take down these nations. Plainly. It's just written in a what? In a mystery, encoded language. Read on up.
The great God had made known to the king what shall come to pass hereafter.
So Nebuchadnezzar already knew this. He already knew, like, damn, I only got a certain amount of time to rule. Damn. Read on up.
And the dream is certain.
Is what?
Is certain.
And the dream is certain. Read on up.
And the interpretation thereof, sure.
And the interpretation thereof, sure. Jump down. Now keep reading.
Verse 46. Then the king Nebuchadnezzar fell upon his face and worshiped Daniel.
And worshiped who?
And worshiped Daniel.
Read on up.
And commanded that they should offer an oblation and sweet odors unto him.
Read on up.
The king answered unto Daniel and said, of a truth it is that your God is a God of gods.
Is a what up?
Is a God of gods.
Read on.
And the Lord of kings and a revealer of secrets.
And a revealer of secrets. Read on up.
Seeing thou couldst reveal this secret. Then the king made Daniel a great man.
Hey, what up?
A great man.
Read on up.
And gave him many great gifts.
So he promoted him because of the work that he was doing for the Most High. Read on up.
And made him ruler over the whole province.
And that's what we was kind of going into the week before last. How the Most High God, if you doing the will of the Most High, he'll promote you in due time. But it got to be the will of the Most High and not your own will. Read on up.
And made him ruler over the whole province of Babylon. And chief of the governors over all the wise men of Babylon.
So we see this. You got something? Go ahead. Boy, say bring them out.
Let's go to Habakkuk, chapter 2. We all know this precept. It said this for certain. It said this dream is certain, and the interpretation thereof sure. Certain and sure. Habakkuk 2 and 3. Because like I said, Nebuchadnezzar knew it. He knew he only had it for a time. Right? The same way America know. America know they only got it for a time. But what American thinking is that they can prolong that time.
That's right.
They trying to add on to it. That's their problem. That pride. Read this.
This is the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2 and verse 3.
Read.
For the vision is yet for an appointed time.
It is an appointed time. This dream, this vision, it was set for an appointed time, right?
That's right.
The gold, the silver, the iron, right? The coming market, the 10 toes, they were all appointed for a certain time. Us come back, 2nd 69.
That's right.
It's all set for an appointed time, read.
But at the end, it shall speak and not lie.
And what?
And not lie.
And what did Christ say? He's coming back with judgment, equity, and what? Truth.
That's right.
It will not lie, read.
Though it tarry.
Though it tarry. And I'm going to tell you, that's why a lot of people fall out this truth, man.
Yeah, that's right.
Listen to this, man. A lot of people fall out this truth because they like, man, this is my 14th tabernacle I done kept. Lord ain't came back yet. Right? But we know that the Lord is on his time. It's not our time.
That's right.
And a lot of people fall short, like I went into last week of that race, man. They fall short of that race because they lose stamina, endurance. They lose patience.
Because you better take that time that the Most High God is giving you, knowing you need to work out some things in your spirit, man. Knowing damn well brothers and sisters do.
Because everybody be like, oh, I can't wait till the Lord come back. You better wait.
I know J-Ball used to always say that.
Yeah, for real. Because I know it's some stuff that I can work on. I know it's some stuff that you can get better at. It's some sins that we all need to knock off and get right before the Lord comes, right? Before the day of the Lord comes. So, yes, though it tarry, read.
Though it tarry, wait for it.
Do what for it?
Wait for it.
It's just wait, right? The same way that Nebuchadnezzar gave it up right? The same way that the Persian Medes gave it up, the same way that the 10 markets and the 10 common markets and these wicked Edomites right now finna have to give it up. Though it tarry away for it, because what?
Because it will surely come.
That's right.
It will not tarry.
It will not tarry. Give me one more Daniel 7:27. This will go with your Daniel 2:44. I don't know if you was going there.
Yeah, you already know.
That's gonna be your last one.
Oh.
Yeah. Make sure y'all put this with Daniel 2:44. Salakia. I know I probably was going there.
No.
But it gives you a little more clarity, because 44 says a kingdom which shall never be destroyed, right? A kingdom that will not be left to other people. But in 7, it gives you a little more understanding and clarity. Read 7:27 of Daniel.
This is the book of Daniel, chapter 7 and verse 27. And the kingdom and dominion.
Dominion, rulership, read.
And the greatness of the kingdom under the whole heaven shall be given to the people of the saints of the Most High.
So see, we get a little more clarity. She given to the people to who? The saints of the Most High. Now that's an argument when you're dealing with the Edomites. Right. Edomite Dave and them. The saints are everybody who believes. Yeah, stop playing.
And show us a precept.
That's right. Right. We are the saints of the Most High. Read.
Whose kingdom is an everlasting kingdom.
What kind of kingdom is this we're going to have?
Whose kingdom is an everlasting kingdom.
You don't see any other nation equipped with this wordplay.
That's right.
Everlasting kingdom. No, you don't see that. No other nation but what? The saints of the Most High. Read.
Whose kingdom is an everlasting kingdom.
And
all dominions shall serve and obey him.
And all other nations, or like we went into Isaiah 2, all other mountains will what? Flow to the mountain of the Lord, right? Hey, man, make sure y'all put that with
rules need to always have that precept in the back of y'all mind.
Yeah, that's the chamber.
Right. That's always the chamber. Go to that Daniel chapter 7. You got some more?
No, that's it.
Go to Daniel chapter 7 and verse 7. I know we're touching on the 10 toes, 10 common markers. Now we're going to touch on the what? The 10 horns.
The horns.
10, 10, 10. These are numbers of completion. Read this.
This is the book of Daniel, chapter 7 and verse 4. The first was like
7 and 7.
Oh, 7 and 7.
So remember, when y'all read the book of Daniel chapter 7 is doing what? It's in and out of time, but I need some more, like Captain J Bar. Come on, that's right. It's giving you a different parable of the same vision. In Daniel's chapter 7, instead of using metals, he's using what? Animals. That's all that he's doing. Start at verse 1. We'll go through it real quick. Read this out.
This is the book of Daniel, chapter 7 and verse 1. In the first year of Belteshazzar, king of Babylon, or Belshazzar, king of Babylon,
son of Nebuchadnezzar on down. Read on.
Daniel had a dream and visions of his head upon his bed. Then he wrote the dream and told the sum of the matters.
So Daniel had a dream. Read on up.
Daniel spake and said, I saw in my vision by night, and behold, the 4 winds of the heaven strove upon the great sea.
The 4 winds is going into what, brothers? North, east, south, west. North, east, south, west. Read on.
And 4 great beasts came up from the sea.
And 4 great beasts. We know according to what? Ecclesiastes, hold that, get that. Ecclesiastes 3 and 18. Beasts or what? Or men. Just like the Most High God was comparing gold to men or metals to men. Read this right quick. 3 and 18.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3 and verse 18. I said in mine heart concerning the estate of the sons of men, that God might manifest them, and that they might see that they themselves are beasts.
Because beasts rely on what? Instinct. The Most High God gave us the laws to rely on what? Knowledge. When you are operating on instinct, you're operating as a beast or an animal. You brothers and sisters understand that? Go back.
This is the book of Daniel, chapter 7 and verse 3. And 4 great beasts came up from the sea.
4 great nations came up out of the sea. Read on.
Diverse, one from another.
These nations were different one from another. Read on.
The first was like a lion.
The lion represents what? Babylon. Read on.
and had eagle's wings. I beheld till the wings thereof were plucked, and it was lifted up from the earth and made stand upon the feet as a man, and a man's heart was given to it.
Read on.
And behold, another beast, a second, like to a bear.
Like to a what?
Like to a bear.
This bear represents who? Persian and Medes. Read on.
And it raised up itself on one side, and had 3 ribs, and the mouth of it between the teeth of it.
Going into Ethiopia, Seba, and Egypt. Read on.
And they said thus unto it, arise, devour much flesh.
Meaning because they took down many nations when they came into power. Read on.
After this I beheld, and lo, another, like a leopard, which had upon the back of it 4 wings of a fowl.
So this represents who? Greece. Why? Because when Alexander the Freak or the Greek, when he rode into battle, what would he ride into battle on? A leopard skin on his horse. Read on up.
The beast had also 4 heads, and dominion was given to it.
So his 4 heads was going into what? His 4 generals that was left after him. Read on up.
After this, I saw in the night vision, and behold, a 4th beast.
A what up?
A 4th beast.
Read on up.
Dreadful and terrible, and strong exceedingly. And it had great iron teeth.
And it had great what up?
Great iron teeth.
We literally just read about that in the book of Daniel chapter 2. It really wasn't named, but who is this beast? Rome, plain. Read on up.
It.
What you say up? Yeah, iron teeth.
It devoured and brake in pieces, and stamped the residue with the feet of it.
Because the teeth represents his what? Its strength going into its military. Read on up.
And it was diverse from all the beasts that were before it. And it had 10 horns.
And it had what up?
And it had 10 horns.
And it had 10 horns, because we know ultimately out of Rome comes who? The 10 common markets, which formed who? America. Do brothers and sisters understand it? Telling you plainly. Jump down to verse 24.
Verse 24.
Start at verse 23, Salaki.
Verse 23. Thus he said, the 4th beast shall be the 4th kingdom upon earth, which shall be diverse from all kingdoms, and shall devour the whole earth.
And shall do what up?
And shall devour the whole earth.
Who is devouring the whole earth? What race? What country? Remember, this is a country, America. It's showing you that America is an extension of Rome. Remember, Bruce can break down the scriptures a couple ways. One way I like to teach and train brothers what? By process of elimination. All you have to do is just eliminate. What is Russia ruling the entire earth? No. Is China ruling the entire earth? No. Is Venezuela? No, they just got took down. Is Japan? No. Then you start trickling down. China? No. Then you get to one country, America. America got bases every damn where. Pull up the map.
And then
Man, they got embassies and bases every damn where.
People be so small-minded. Well, China making everything made in China. Nick, did we say
For real.
made everything, or we talking about running
Everything.
Come on, man. Well, it was made in China.
Look at these bases, man. America controls all this. I'm gonna tell you, you know a military by its number of aircraft carriers. I don't even think it's probably one country that got one aircraft carrier. America has dozens, 8 or 9. That's like a floating city. And they can align them anywhere in the earth and be over there and have a military response just like that. China, I don't even think China has but one aircraft carrier. They control the world. Read verse 24 again.
Verse 23. Thus he said, the 4th beast shall be the 4th kingdom upon earth, which shall be diverse from all kingdoms.
Read on.
And shall devour the whole earth, and shall tread it down.
Read on.
And break it in pieces.
Read on.
And the 10 horns.
And the who?
And the 10 horns out of this kingdom are 10 kings.
It's telling you plainly, and the 10 horns out of this kingdom is 10 kings. Meaning what? These 10 nations that are what? In rulership. Showing you that these 10 toes are the 10 common markets are what? The 10 horns. It's all the same thing. Boy, that's a fool with it. For real. That's the ones that they ain't telling you. Because there's many black spots that's not located on that black site. Salaki. Read verse 24.
Verse 24 from the top. And the 10 horns out of this kingdom are 10 kings that shall arise, and another shall rise after them. And he shall be diverse from the first, and he shall subdue 3 kings.
Verse 24 is the point. If brothers and sisters can receive it, read it again.
Verse 24 from the top. And the 10 horns out of this kingdom are 10 kings.
So it's showing us the 10 common markets, the 10 horns. Read on.
That shall arise, and another shall rise after them.
That shall arise, and another. Who is this another? America. Read on.
And he shall be diverse from the first.
And he's diverse from the first. From who? From Rome. Read on.
And he shall subdue 3 kings.
The 3 kings that he has subdued is who? Spain, France, and Great Britain. Come on now. This is where you have to know American history. That's why the Bible is a total history book, man. You have to know a lot of history to really be able to put the pieces of the puzzle together. Telling you plainly, jump over to Revelation chapter 13, verse 1. Now we putting the pieces of the puzzle together. This is just a continuation from Daniel. You know, a lot of brothers and sisters in Christianity, they scared to read the book of Revelation. Brothers and sisters should love that thing, man. Talking about salvation all up in that thing. Read this,
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 13, and verse 1. I stood upon the sand of the sea and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns.
So those 10 horns are what, brothers and sisters? Which are also what? What's the first point? Look at what do we start with? The 10 toes. I need Bruce to correlate that thing. It's all the same thing. Saying the same thing using what? Different words. It's the same meaning. Read this again from the top.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 13, verse 1. And I stood upon the sand of the sea and saw a great beast rise up out of the sea.
Seen them rise up out of the nations. Read on.
Having 7 heads.
Having 7 heads. What brother or sister can name the 7 heads in order? Who want to try it? In order. What you got, Brother Renard? That's it. Come on. That's it. Those are the 7 major Edomite empires in the earth. Rome, Spain, Germany, Great Britain, Russia, France, Slovakia.
Greece,
No.
Rome, Spain, France, Germany, Russia.
Great Britain. That's the order. Read 13 again, up.
Verse 1 from the top. And I stood upon the sand of the sea and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his heads the names of blasphemy.
And the names of blasphemy. So we see that what John the Revelator is doing, what? Saying the same vision that Daniel is saying. Saying the same thing, just using what? Different parables and different similitudes. That's all that he's doing. He expound a little bit more. What you got, Brother Yaduan? Read verse 13, verse 1 one more time. Oh.
Greece, Rome, Spain, France, Germany, Russia, Great Britain.
Come on.
In that order.
Jump up to Revelation chapter 12, verse 1. Verses 3. We want to get straight to the point.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 12, and verse 3. And there appeared another wonder in heaven.
This heaven is what? Rulership over the earth. It's different types of heaven. We can't always just associate this with where the Most High God dwells. If they fighting up there where God dwells, that means that God is what? Not in control of his kingdom. I'll be damned if you fighting up there, man. I know everybody's scared up there. Read on.
And behold, a great red dragon.
A great red dragon, symbolizing who? The Caucasian race, because they are not white, they are red. Read on out.
Having 7 heads and 10 horns.
Meaning what? 7 Edomite empires and the 10 common markets. Read on out.
And 7 crowns upon his heads.
Meaning because they're in rulership, they control a lot. Read on out.
And his tail drew the third part of the stars of heaven.
Uh-huh.
And did cast them to the earth.
Meaning what? Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. They took down the southern tribe and put us in captivity. That's right.
Read 4 again.
Verse 4 from the top. And his tail drew the third part of the stars of heaven.
The stars of heaven. Those stars are going into Israel, right? We're going into Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. Y'all make sure y'all write that down. I seen people looking like, that third part is Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. Read. Open. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
It did cast them to the earth.
Meaning put us in captivity, put us in a low estate. Read on out.
And the dragon stood before the woman, which was ready to be delivered, for to devour her child. For to devour her child as soon as it was born.
Going into what? King Herod. Letting you know, when you go back in time, Herod is an Edomite. And they literally calling him the dragon. Plainly. They know that the Edomites are the dragons. People, I don't know, not one scholar out there that'll argue that Herod wasn't an Edomite when his father is Antipater, the Edomite. Telling you plain, that's why it's important to know history. Read on up. No, jump down to verse 7.
Verse 7. And there was war in heaven.
Meaning it was war, what? For the rulership over the earth. Read on up.
Michael and his angels fought against the dragon.
Meaning when Christ comes back, he's fighting with Michael and the archangels for the what? Rulership over the planet Earth. Saying the same thing as what we just read in Daniel. In Daniel, he was the what? The stone that's coming. In here is telling you plainly, he's coming with Michael and the angels. Read on up.
And there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels and prevailed not.
Meaning when Christ comes back, he's going to destroy them without hand. Read on up.
Neither was their place found anymore in heaven.
In rulership, read on.
And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent.
From Genesis, read on.
Called the devil and Satan.
Called the deceiver and the adversary. That's what devil and Satan means. They just go against anything that's of the Most High. You could do that by process of elimination. If this is such a Christian country, why they're not keeping the laws of God? Plain. Read on up.
Which deceiveth the whole world.
And they literally have deceived the whole world, man. They got people to do what? Go to church on Sunday instead of Saturday. They got people to celebrate Christmas instead of what? Dedication. They got people to celebrate Easter instead of Passover. Got people to eat unclean foods and abominable things that are out there. That's how they deceive the whole world. They put the fake image of Jesus Christ up, and people literally do think that Christ is a so-called white man when the Bible describes what he looked like. Read on up.
He was cast out into the earth.
Uh-huh.
And his angels were cast out with him.
Jump back down to Revelation chapter 13 and verse 2.
This is the book of Revelation chapter 13 and verse 2. And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet were as the feet of a bear.
Uh-huh.
And his mouth as the mouth of a lion.
Read on up.
And the dragon.
And the who?
And the dragon.
Read on up.
Gave him his power and his seat and great authority.
In this context, who is the dragon? Satan. Remember, y'all got to track the conversation. That's why I tell y'all, write it down. If Bruce had wrote it down, y'all know that thing. You got to write it down, because who is giving Esau his power? He didn't get that power from nowhere. Who gave it to him? Esau didn't give Esau power. Satan gave Esau power. So remember, dragons, it depends on the context. Read it again from the top.
This is the book of Revelation chapter 13 and verse 2. And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard.
Uh-huh.
And his feet were as the feet of a bear.
Going into Greece and going into Russia. Read on up.
And his mouth as the mouth of a lion.
And Great Britain. Read on.
And the dragon gave him his power and his seat and great authority.
Because when you read back in Matthew chapter 4, Satan asked Christ, if you want power, you should do what? Bow down and worship me. So we know ultimately Esau is worshiping who? Satan, plain, because they have great power in the earth. And the Most High God allowed him to do that, showing you who the children of God is from just opposing who the children of the devil is. Read on out.
Verse 3. And I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed, and all the world wondered after the beast.
Verse 3 is going into who? Rome, when they fell in 193 AD. The world wondered what happened to the Romans, man. They ruled the earth with great power. Now, as they come back up, guess what? America is nothing but Rome repackaged. That's why they quiet, because they know like it's doing the same thing. That's why we went through what? Through the Senate houses, through their architecture. They doing the same customs that they did in Rome. That's right. That's right. If you ever want to know what customs people follow, all you have to do is look at the architecture. That architecture go way back to Petra, from when Esau literally was building those things, what we know today as Petra, in the land of Petra. Pull it up right quick, Art. Click that one. This one right here at the bottom. Yeah, either one. It don't matter. Look at that architecture. I wish you put United States of America next to it. Look at those columns. Look at the shape at the top. They even have an eagle on the top of that thing. They be trying to hide that thing too. All you have to do is look at the architecture. And this is over in the lower parts of Israel. Esau, because a lot of times coming up in the truth, we think that Esau didn't stay in those lands. They stayed over there. They are from over there as well. They are a fraternal brother. The Most High God gave him that land below us. This is how we know who they are. They love to stay in the mountains, and they carved that out of the mountains. Look at that architecture. Look at that up there. Showing you plainly, that thing looked just like the White House. Just red, like how it is. Yeah, for real. Read on up. Verse 3 again.
Verse 3. And I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed. And all the world wondered after the beast.
Because we know ultimately they did come back into power through America. This is what this is going to. Remember, Revelation just goes in and out of history. That's 2nd Ezra chapter 11, verse 39. Got like 2 more precepts, and we up out here. So like your 2nd Ezra, we're going to go there, but we're going to start with the 2nd Ezra chapter 12, verse 11. Salaki. Because remember, in the book of Daniel chapter 7, Daniel seen a vision of all the nations which were what? Beasts. But he didn't give what that 4th beast looked like. Read this.
This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 12 and verse 11.
The who?
The eagle, whom thou sawest come up from the sea, is the kingdom which was seen in the vision of thy brother Daniel.
Read on out.
But it was not expounded unto him.
But the Most High God didn't give him all that. He left that thing for Ezra to give. That's why he hid some of it. And guess what? Teach it to those that are learned men that know to keep the commandments, to be able to give this understanding. Read verse 11 again.
Verse 11 from the top. The eagle, whom thou sawest come up from the sea, is the kingdom which was seen in the vision of thy brother Daniel.
Now, what is the symbol of America? I'm talking about that's boom. Showing you plainly. What you saying? Damn bald-headed eagle, man. I'm talking about showing you plainly. Jump over now to 2nd Ezra chapter 11 and verse 39.
This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 11, and verse 39. Are not thou it that remainest of the four beasts, whom I made to reign in my world, that the end of their times might come through them?
Hey, the Most High God was letting us know the end of the world was starting during the time of Rome. Letting us know plainly, because he was going to have it do what? End by them. Literally doing what? Turning them one against another.
And the fourth came and overcame all the beasts that were past, and had power over the world with great fearfulness.
This beast has power over the world. You look at Rome. Rome didn't have power like America has power today. Process of elimination. Read on out.
And over the whole compass of the earth with much wicked oppression.
Does not America deal in much wicked oppression? So they've been finding out a lot of stuff. Even like with those, they send those medical centers over, what they call them, Red Cross. They finding out like the agents that go with those things been doing terrible things to, guess what, young sisters that's over there in the Middle East. Terrible things, man. They've been knowing these things and they use it as a cover to abduct and to kidnap women too, and to put them in slave trade. There's been a lot of stuff where you have to pull back the layers. Oh, Americans, they just so nice. They're over there just helping people with them clipped lips. Yeah, and after they fix them, they putting them in slavery. It's a lot of stuff that goes on. Brothers and sisters have to peel back the layers a lot, man. Read on.
And so long time dwelt he upon the earth with deceit.
And the Most High God is letting us know that he have dwelt a long time upon the earth with deceit. Read on out.
For the earth hast thou not judged with truth.
With what?
With truth.
Read on out.
For thou hast afflicted the meek. Thou hast hurt the peaceable. Thou hast loved liars, and destroyed the dwellings of them that brought forth fruit, and has cast down the walls of such as did thee no harm.
Because didn't the northern tribe bring them fruit during the time, doing what they call Thanksgiving? Read on out.
Therefore, it is thy wrongful dealing come up unto the highest.
It says, therefore is thy wrongful dealing come up unto the highest, meaning they have done so much wickedness, it done reached to the Most High, man. Read on out.
And thy pride unto thee mighty, well, unto the mighty.
Read on.
The highest also had looked upon the proud times, and behold, they are ended.
They are what?
They are ended.
Now we're starting to see America slowly but surely decline, man. They own the decline. We know that the dollar is declining. We know that, guess what, politics is declining. We're seeing the fractures and the divide within this two-party system. This is the Most High God slowly but surely taking it down. Read on out.
And his abominations are fulfilled.
Read on out.
And therefore appear no more. Thou eagle.
Thou who?
Thou eagle.
Read on out.
Nor thy horrible wings, nor thy wicked feathers, nor thy malicious heads, nor thy hurtful claws, nor all thy vain body, that all the earth may be refreshed and may return, being delivered from thy violence.
The Most High God is saying when they take down this nation, man, the earth is going to be refreshed. Think of all the things that they do. They pollute the air. They kill off all the animals. Think about this thing. They is destroying the planet Earth, man. Even in space. Read on up.
And that she may hope for the judgment and mercy of him that made her.
That what?
That made her.
Jump over to 2nd Ezra chapter 12 and verse 31.
This is the book of 2nd Ezra chapter 12 and verse 31.
Bring it out.
And the lion.
And the who?
And the lion.
Christ, Revelation chapter 5 verse 5 is that lion. Read on up.
Whom thou sawest rising up out of the woods. And roaring.
Read on.
And speaking to the eagle.
And speaking to the who?
And speaking to the eagle.
Meaning Christ, when he comes back, he's going to be rebuking America, man. And these nations and the powers that be. Read on.
And rebuking her for her unrighteousness.
Read on.
With all the words which thou hast heard.
Read on.
This is the anointing.
This is the who?
This is the anointing.
Read on.
Which the highest had kept for them and for their wickedness unto the end.
Unto the who?
Unto the end.
Read on.
He shall reprove them.
He shall do what up?
He shall reprove them.
Read on.
And shall upbraid them with their cruelty. For he shall set them before him alive in judgment. And shall rebuke them and correct them.
Read on.
For the rest of my people shall he deliver with mercy.
With what up?
With mercy. Those that have been preserved upon my board, upon my borders, and he shall make them joyful until the coming of the day of judgment.
That's right.
Whereof I have spoken unto thee from the beginning.
And with that, we say shalom. We always tell brothers and sisters to keep the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. So we always like to bring out a law. We go back to that Deuteronomy 29:29. Go back to that Deuteronomy chapter 29:29. Remember, the Bible is a mystery. And to be able to unlock the mystery, you must what? Keep the commandments. This is what this law is saying. Read this out.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 29 and verse 29.
Bring it out.
The secret things belong unto the Lord our God, but those things which are revealed belong unto us and to our children forever, that we may do all the words of this law.
And that's what our job is, to do all the words of the laws of the Most High. And with that, we say shalom. We pray that brothers and sisters was edified. We pray that brothers and sisters give to the cause. Like we say, we have a building. Like we say, we're trying to reach places near brothers and sisters where it bears witness with their spirit and teach our people, man. We want to make sure that brothers and sisters throw up prayers for brothers and sisters that are sick amongst the congregation and sick in the nation of Israel, man. And with that, we say shalom.